This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Hello Internet, my name is Taliesin.
And I'm Evitel.
And welcome to a video that we haven't done this kind of video for a while, Evitel.
It's been a long time,
I was looking back, and this kind of video that we're about to do now is one of the first types of video we ever used to put on this channel.
How could I forget?
We used to sit back with a bottle of wine, crack open some alcohol, put it in glasses, and go through the new tier sets for any new raid and or expansion, which is exactly what we're going to do today, Evitel, apart from one important difference.
No wine.
No wine,
Alas.
But to make up for it, because I am quite a bit older than I was when we did that, I do have the biggest bottle of water in the entire world. These are the new tier sets for the first raid of the War Within, which is the new World of Warcraft expansion, with tier set animations as well.
Yes.
We are going to rank them all, and then we will present them to you in order with our comments. So, welcome to the War Within tier set transmogs ranked.
Let's go.
This is not a gameplay thing, by the way.
No.
I don't know how they... Obviously, you are the hunter player in this relationship, right? So I'm just going to stay quiet on this one, and I'm going to let you tell me about why this is the worst set ever made.
Okay, so I've never been a huge fan of wearing the skulls of animals and bones.
But you're a hunter.
I know, but why? But hunters
You're like
can't
the
be
predator.
that.
You're showing off your kills.
I don't want to be the predator. I want to be the elegant, maybe night elf, like decked out and like the
Maybe
marksman.
night elf.
Yeah.
I just want all my costumes to be designed for night elves all of the time.
The marksman, the sentinel, the elegant, refined, deadly windrunner. That's what Hunter evokes for me. And this is not what Hunter evokes for me.
I'm going to defend this set. Okay?
Go on.
I agree with you. The mask is horrible. They knew they needed to put a special effect on this set. There's no special effect that you really want on this set. So they put like the most normie, kind of meaningless, kind of glowy effects on. And it's like, yeah, whatever, man. I actually think the glowy effect ruins what would otherwise be quite good shoulders. But I maintain if you get rid of the helmet, that is a really cool, low-key hunter set. You're like a kind of a Davy Crockett, right? You're just dressed in your leathers, or your mail. Your mail.
Yeah, look at all that mail.
Why did
on
they
there.
make hunters mail? It's the
don't
worst
know.
idea ever. You are out in the land, surviving. You've patched together your clothes.
Yeah.
You know, you got your big furry boots. You've got. I really love the trap on your.
Yeah, the trap
on
is
your
actually
hip.
quite
That's
cool.
really cool.
This is Beastmaster, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I get that, and that's just never been my style, so I'm never going to like it. And then I just don't think the void works. I just don't.
It's such a low-key set that giving it all of these effects just doesn't work.
And
But as a low-key set, I really like it.
You know, it has nice little details, like the little bone knife on the boot. Hunters over the world sighed collectively when we saw this.
I feel like hunters have a big like jar of size that they save up so they don't even have to bother. It's like every time a new set comes out, they just like release the size. Okay, another expansion of wearing the Savannah set from Legion.
Well, exactly, yeah.
I would rather have bits from this set than bits from some of the other sets we've seen. Put it that way.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
So
right.
I'm gonna give this a solid 5.5.
Nice. Mine's a 2. It's not for me.
Okay, this is Paladin, and I have to warn you, Evitel, people hate this transmog, and so if you want to stay in with the cool kids, I think you're going to hate it as well. However, I don't care about no cool kids, so I'm going to tell you right now, I think this is great.
Really?
People reacted to this when it came out without a helmet.
Right.
And so they were reacting to like Wowhead's goofy like bald dude just kind of sitting like an egg in a cup, right?
Yeah.
And
Like
the huge wings are goofy af, okay?
Putting wings on pauldrons is like a no-go for me. I've never liked wings coming off of shoulders.
Well, you know why this is, don't you? It's because when those priest sets came out in season 2 of Dragonflight, which had the cool like wings on, and all the paladins were like, yo, that's paladin armor. What are you doing? And they had a bit of a paddy about that. Well, here you go. Enjoy it.
Enjoy your wings.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. The helmet unexpectedly really brings this set together, and I really like it. Yeah, I actually think it's really, really cool. It gives you a kind of like a faceless angel vibe, which I really like, kind of like Diablo-esque. You know, the colors are way too solid and bright.
Yeah, what's going on with just like this the solid kind of cloth underneath?
It does kind of feel like this isn't what they've done, but because the solid colors are so like there's so much of them, and it does feel like someone has literally just you know, in Photoshop, just change the hue of each one, right?
They've got these tiny little gems on their shoulders and belt and stuff. And
Evitel is not impressed with the size of the gems.
I'm not impressed with the size of the gems.
You keep your piddly
I think
gems,
just
Paladin.
having the little gem in contrast to this expanse of like one texture and color. I actually don't like the mask. I don't like the headpiece.
I like the scrolls over the carvings on the gloves. It's like he
Can't have enough scrolls.
He was in the church and he was like, oh, it's cold in this church. I'm just reading this scroll, but it's an old one. I don't think anyone wants it. It's wrapped it around his neck. Like, you know, just to keep warm. And then he's like, it's made of paper. It's not very warm, but I've done it now. I've got to commit to the bit.
So this color scheme, this like yellow and purple one, just looks to me like an ethereal is just cosplaying as a paladin, you know, and they're just like...
There is a cosplay element to this because it's so simple, honestly.
And this one gives me huge like evil colorway and Bastion vibes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think the red one is the best. I think it works best in red, this one. I like it. I actually like this one. I like it a lot more than most of the community. And I agreed that it was terrible before the helmet. And the helmet kind of ties it all together and makes it greater than the sum of its parts, I think. I'm going to give it a 7.
Wow. I'm going to give it a 3. I respectfully offer my
You're ruining all my scores here, Evie. Okay, this is Death Knight, Evie.
You don't say.
I always think that the key to a Death Knight tier set is how many skulls it has on it.
In fact, I think we've done the skull ranking for previous sets.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why the Legion Death Knight set is one of the greatest Death Knight sets of all time, because it had like 12, 13, maybe even 14, depending on the angle, skulls on it. We need to do a skull count. We've got 1 on the shoulder, 2 on the shoulder, and then we've got 3, and that's it. There's only...
That's it, yeah.
There's 3 skulls on this outfit, Evitel. 2 of them are animal skulls. I'm not convinced.
I like the effect of having a skull underneath the helmet, because it's like, I've got a helm and there's a skull under there.
Yeah, well, actually, the skull does get bonus points for being a skull mask.
Bonus points.
This was the worst idea we ever had. This video was a bad idea. I think this set is pretty unremarkable. I love the kind of like Warhammer 40,000 kind of chaos emblem spikes on the hat.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Animation looks pretty cool. I mean, they've taken, let's be fair, this feels a little Shadowlandsy.
Yeah.
Feels a little Torghasty.
I mean, Death Knights generally feel a little bit Shadowlandsy, yeah. I feel like with Death Knights, the color scheme variants are very, very easy to do as well, right? Because you've got an ice one, you've got like a necrotic one, and then another necrotic one, and then you've got like a void one, because everything has void ones in this one. A red one as well for blood, right?
Cool. The little animation on the spikes and the kind of the glow.
Not the most impressive animation that we've seen in these sets either. So.
But it looks nice. It's subtle, and when this guy is like pummeling you.
Do you want Death Knights to be subtle though?
No.
Like they're literally an animated corpse relentlessly pursuing you across the battlefield.
Well, that's what I meant. When this guy's
is
like
the Terminator subtle? Like, is the Lich King subtle? Like, is the Winter King subtle? I don't know about this.
I do appreciate how some of his spikes are broken.
One of his spikes seems to be broken.
Some on his
well, he just didn't
as
duck as he went under a doorway. That's all. He's relentless, Evitel.
I'm going to give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 5, I think.
Oh, I do not like the green and red one. That
one. Yeah, it's a bit He-Man, that one, isn't it? Oh, no, it is He-Man.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I'm taking my score down to 4.5.
Ooh,
yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. This is Druid, and can I let you into a little secret, Evitel?
Oh, please.
This set sucks and I hate it.
Well, okay, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about what's going on here.
Okay.
This isn't my favorite kind of Druid style of set. I guess my favorite style is just like become more animal. I find the giant animal head on the shoulder is like insane.
But at least it's like a carved animal head and not a real one. We've had real ones before now, and I never know how I feel about that when it comes to Druids.
Now, you've also got a little tiny animal head on your belt. Very nice. And just
I always insist.
You love animals, you've got a big animal paw on your back.
Yeah, man. There are bands that I love, and I like wearing t-shirts of that band. This is my favorite thing about the entire costume. I really love the little T-birds style. It's like this Druid is in a gang,
yeah,
and the the symbol of their gang is the goofy little paw. And so he's put a goofy little paw on the back of his jackets. And you know what? Everyone in his gang has got the goofy paw on their jackets.
Exactly.
They all go around, they're all like, oh, and this year we're seniors.
Because you are a druid, you have like a little saber-tooth necklace. Essential. Now,
well, I mean, okay, so there is like the saber-tooth necklace is a bit of like surf memorabilia, if you ask me.
Just a bit.
Like,
overall effect is you have a mohawk and you have braids coming down your shoulders.
Yeah.
I know that is a fur ruff, but to me, that just looks like the elven dwarven braided hair. That
like
comes
this
down.
one looks very Horizon Zero Dawn to me.
Yeah, exactly. That color scheme is fun. Kind of the more like nature colors, I think, are nice.
I can't get over how saucy this vest is.
And the vest
don't forget, this is a leather armor set. That vest is leather.
Look at that cleavage,
That's a
man.
leather vest right there.
Look at that.
That dude is wearing a leather vest down below his cleavage with a shark tooth necklace. This dude is about to buy a motorbike. It's the midlife crisis set. I don't love this. I feel like a lot of this is going to come down to whether this ruff is a headpiece or like part of the chest piece. Because like this helmet, never going to wear in a billion years.
No.
There's literally nothing that can happen that's going to make me want to wear this helmet on any race ever. It's never happening. So I really hope this ruff that I also hate is part of the helmet. So like it's just nothing to do with anything. And you know, other parts of this transmog I can find absolute uses for, you know.
Yeah,
I like the
your
claw
badge.
rosette. It's like
Your,
you
animal
are
companion
the
badge.
best animal.
Yeah.
I hate this. I'm giving it a 4.
Oh, wow. I'm
Yeah,
going to give it a
sorry.
7.
Oh,
'cause
wow.
actually,
What?
Unexpectedly.
What's the matter with
I
you?
rolled my eyes really hard when I saw it, but looking at it more closely, it's kind of fun.
Okay, I'm going to give an extra 0.5 because I've just realized that one of the cat ears on the mask is pierced.
No. Okay.
It's so extra. That gets an extra half point for me.
The cat on the shoulder piece also has a pierced ear.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm officially naming this the midlife crisis set.
Is this a demon hunter?
Could it be anything else? You know this is a demon hunter because look, just showing a little bit of midriff.
Just a little bit
Gonna
of
look
tummy.
nice on your blood elf demon hunter.
Yes, I have to say, there's a problem when you already have horns. And the question is like, with armor, do we add more horns?
Or do we have horns on the helmet but get rid of your horns
Yeah,
underneath?
exactly.
Or do we let your horns come through?
Exactly. What do we do with the horns here? And I feel like they've just gone more horns all over.
That's absolutely right. And like,
Yeah.
I don't want to throw shade at any designers or whatever, but it does seem a little bit unimaginative when you sit there and you go, okay, I've got to design the Demon Hunter set. What do I know about Demon Hunters? They have horns. I'll put horns on their helmet. It's like, you don't need to put horns on their helmet because that's the one thing they've already got. You don't need to put horns on. You don't need to put wings on. They've got those things. Horny helmet on like a Warlock who doesn't already have horns. That looks cool.
Warlocks
on a Demon
are super
Hunter,
horny.
it seems like a waste.
Got a lot of things going on here. So you've got what looks like a kind of standard, like kind of golden armor set.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah,
super
exactly.
elven. And then underneath it, you have this like kind of fleshy, scaly, I guess, kind of silithid flesh peeking through.
Do you think the Demon Hunter has looked at the Evokers and like the Drakthea and gone, I like the way they have armor over their scales. I ain't got no scales, but I can rectify this.
Looks like it's been almost like morphed and possessed by creatures.
Like a demon. Like
Yeah.
it looks like elven armor that has been corrupted by a demon.
Now
right?
this color set is actually cool.
It's kind of shy
Yeah.
and nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
this one I like.
I like the pantaloons.
Oh, you love
The
a good
pantaloons
pantaloon, don't
are
you?
spiffing. They are so balloonious. They're just wonderful.
Yeah.
And I like the spidery effect of this kind of flesh coming down. It looks
crawling
like a
out,
spider web. Yeah, it's really, really cool.
And of course, bandages. Now this, I actually love
Of
this
course.
color. Of course.
Because it hurts.
Yeah, you have sacrificed and suffered so much. that you're
Everything.
invited.
I've just realized
What have you realized?
these toenails
Yes.
are part of the set.
Yes, they are.
And they change color.
And the fingernails.
Okay, I noticed it on the fingernails, but I hadn't noticed on the toenails. That gets an extra point from me. That's ridiculous. I
Yeah.
love it. Like
And it's not
like
even
he's
attached to anything.
No,
it's
it's
literally just toe armor.
It's armor
Love it.
that you have slotted individually over each toe, and I really appreciate that.
It's gonna be another 6 for me.
Oh.
6.5.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5 as well. Okay, so Shamans absolutely ate in Dragonflight. They had
did.
some of their best ever sets. What do you think of this one for The War Within?
I've seen a lot of hate for this one.
Oh, have you?
They're not big fans. Now, bear in mind the little thing on top of the head is going to flop down, right?
Oh, is it?
It's good. Yeah, that's
Are you sure?
has to be. It has to be like a
What?
little ponytail that just
You-
hasn't been.
Are you sure though?
It must be.
You reckon it's going to be a water? Would
Yeah.
that be?
It's a watery ponytail.
Would that be better better?
Yes, it would be marginally better. That being said, I actually really like this set. I think it's a cool like night elf set.
It looks like it's made out of mail, which is something I appreciate.
Yeah, it looks like
There's
mail.
got some mail
like
elements to it.
Mail. I like that they've got the skirts, but there's a chain in front of it.
Yeah,
I love the kind of the jeweled buckle in the middle.
I do like how metallic it is, actually.
I actually really love this set purely like from a night elf perspective. I think look at that. Like I think
There's
it's
no
actually,
red version of this.
That's okay.
Where's the fire version? If you're like one of them shamans, I don't know about that.
I think this looks really cool, and I actually love a lot of the individual armor pieces. I like the weird shoulders.
Yeah.
The helmet is freaky, but I think it's gonna look okay when it flops down. So I guess
it'll look like a waterfall going down your back, right?
Yeah.
Like it'll be like cascading down.
Yeah, I think it'll just be kind of like hanging down. So I actually really like it.
Okay, yeah, you know what? You've kind of talked me around a little bit. There's stuff I like about this set. The thing I like most about this set, I think, is the waist.
Yeah,
I think
isn't it so nice?
The waist tucks
It's so
and
pretty.
it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
It's got shoulders which are going to look absolutely dumb and obscene on Tauren and Orc.
Yeah, as they should.
As all good shaman shoulders should. They should always, like, if an Orc or a Tauren is wearing shaman shoulders, like there should not be a door on the whole of Azeroth that they can comfortably walk through. I'm looking at the animation. I really like how the water is kind of coming off the balls in the shoulder. And it's not going straight down. It's like disappearing in like the pool.
Yeah.
And then the pool is overflowing. They're like two separate animmations.
It's cool.
And that's actually really, really cool.
Dripping off of the shoulders.
Yeah, that's a proper water feature, because like a less thoughtful animator would have just had the water effect just going straight down in one go, but they've had it like pooling and coming over the edges, and I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
This in my mind just signals Night Elf Shaman.
To be honest, something that I thought was going to happen in Dragonflight, right? Because we saw a whole bunch of them.
That's what this feels like to me.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's what they're trying to say.
Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think that could be a thing?
I don't know.
I mean, Ian Costas has said that it won't happen straight away.
I don't know, but maybe it will happen.
Okay, yeah.
Bearing in mind that this isn't kind of giving most shaman what they want, I'm going to give it a 7, but I personally just like it as a set.
I'm going to give it 7.5. No, I'm not. I feel like all the color variants are a little bit samey.
They are samey, aren't they?
And I'm going to give it minus points for that, because I'd like one that is just like out there.
Red.
You know? Yeah, I'd like one that's red, or like
orange.
A full-on void one.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, because that's the closest you've got, right? It's one of the only ones
Not
we've
voidy
seen.
enough.
Most of them have like a full-on void version, and this one
Too
doesn't.
dusky.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to take points away. I'm going to give it a 6.
Warrior. Oh, wait, are you sure this isn't a monk?
Are you sure this is not a Dragonflight tier set? It looks like something warriors would wear in Dragonflight to me.
It does.
It did take me a long time to realize that these pauldrons are big Titan face.
I'm going to ask you.
The Titan face is so goofy, because what it is, basically the pauldrons are you wearing your hat.
Yes,
like,
basically.
The pauldrons are a big dude wearing the same hat that you're wearing. And I think that's brilliant. Basically, if you're a warrior and you don't equip a moustache like the guy on your pauldrons, you're doing this set
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong.
Do you like this set, Evie?
It's really not my favorite. It's like, I think maybe it's because it made me think of Dragonflight. Like, it doesn't feel
something
like a
about
new
the
expansion.
curly shoulders.
Yeah, there's something
I know
about it. I'm not a huge fan of like the horns. It's funny because technically it's really cool.
Looks a bit Santa Claus, that one, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't. The little Titan guy has his like beard trimmed and tied off. I mean, the animation on this one, which is like the mythic one, clearly is.
Well, no, I think it's the same animation for all of them, actually.
Is it?
Well, probably. I'm going to guess.
Oh, maybe. Oh, no, you're right.
I think they all have the same
you're
animations.
Right. Okay, yeah,
so,
of course.
I mean, and like the lightning around the head is amazing.
It looks
but the lightning
very
on the
cool.
pauldrons is great as well. The way it kind of like...
It crackles
crackles through the cracks.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. I'm actually like a huge fan of that. Again, I think like 50% of these sets, they have animations that are kind of like just stuck on top and they don't really belong. But then 50% of them, it's like almost the animation came first.
Yeah.
And they built the set around it. And I think that's absolutely what's happening here.
Exactly. And the lightning kind of like wraps around and literally goes like underneath your helm, like around
so
your neck.
cool.
So it's really neat. I'm like, none of the color sets are really doing it for me. They're either too samey or just like not. Yeah,
but
like,
I think for warriors, I think that's cool. I think it's like heavy looking without being too showy. Apart from like all the lightning and stuff going around it. You know, it's got big shoulders, just like you want any warrior set to have. Plus, for warrior, I think it's really important to have like fur on it as well. I'm a huge fan of like warrior sets with fur on, and you know, the ruff that goes around and becomes like the beard of the guy under the pauldrons. I think that's cool. Awesome. I'm a huge fan of the ruff. You know what? As I've been looking at this one, it's one of those ones that I thought was goofy and dumb and I didn't really like it. But the more details I see on it, and that's something I'll say for all of these sets, even the ones I don't like have great details on them.
They do, and there's clearly been, you know, lots of thought put into like the little bit.
Plus this one gives you an eye glow. What's your opinion on sets that give you an eye glow?
Fine.
Okay.
In this one, you're literally like channeling this like lightning energy.
And it is a proper eye glow as well. It's not one of those ones that just puts the glow like a meter in front of your face. No, it's like proper eye glow, which I appreciate. I think there are definitely sets that are much worse than this. I'm going to give this one a solid 7.
Yeah, I was going to say 6.5.
Okay.
Nice.
I always feel like one day we're going to get the pure like ninja monk set, right? The pure like ninja assassin monk set. And this is not that day. This is another like ceremonial. You're basically a statue from a temple or something.
Yeah,
basically.
you're the celestial. You're the bull celestial, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever, and you are bull. Like you've got your bull pauldrons. You've got your hairy skirt, curly hairy skirt, which I really like. You've got like, you know, the beautiful kind of like curled detail, which is really evocative of, you know, Pandaria and monks and stuff. How many horns do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 horns. 6 horns. That's not what worries me. If anything, there could be more horns.
What worries you?
I'm worried about these rings by the knees.
Oh, why is that?
Well, I like the idea. Obviously, you've tied a ring to your knee. Fantastic. And when you've got a straight leg like this, there's no issue. But just imagine, if you will, you're in the midst of combat. You bend your leg to go and kick someone in the face. And your knee slips into the ring. And then when you try and straighten your leg, you can't, because the ring is acting as like something that's basically just keeping your knee shut. I'm worried that you might be running along and your knee will slip into the ring in a bent position and you won't be able to, like, it will just like hook your knee and you won't be able to extend your leg. And you'll be, well, you will, but you just have to be like, sorry. Like that.
That's what you thought when you saw this.
It's what I thought instantly, and I'm very, very worried about this monk.
Wow.
I'm just concerned.
Okay.
I'm not going to be able to relax. That monk's going to be running along, you know, and I'm just going to be like, oh. But otherwise, I really like this set. I think it's really, really cool. I'm worried that these horns on the shoulder pads are going to clip a lot with the helmet and with the head, because monks do a lot of this, right?
Yeah.
You know, so I'm worried that it is going to do that. But I love like the artistic kind of swirl patterns on the skirt bit. Really I think that's really good, which are represented in the carvings on the shoulder pads. In this red version, we've been watching a lot of Shogun recently.
Yes, we have,
and I'm a little bit worried. In this red version, it does look like, can I be inappropriate for a sec? It looks like he's committed seppuku.
Oh.
Because it looks like those are his intestines exposed. And I've been watching enough Shogun recently where you can't show me stuff that looks like intestines around your abdominal area, because and especially like in a monk with like, you know, this kind of styling and stuff. That's what it says to me.
He heard your comment and felt gravely dishonored. No, I love this. I love this color set.
Yeah, this is very cool.
So beautiful and cool and weird. I think this is a pretty cool set in terms of like class identity and look and feel and stuff. I'm into it.
It's grown on me the more I've looked at it. I've got to be honest with you. When I first saw it, I thought it was a bit goofy, and it is, but I'm into its goof right now. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, I really like it actually. The special effect, the kind of like the mist effect kind of going around the horns and stuff.
Very appropriate.
Yeah, really, really cool.
I'm going to give it a solid 7.5, maybe an 8.
Oh, okay. I'm going to give it a 7. I think. Yeah. We made a joke on the Weekly Reset recently about wanting to become ethereals, and rogues, you get to be ethereals now.
There you have it.
It's as simple as that.
Literally get ethereals.
Like, imagine how good this is going to look on like a troll or a Forsaken with like spindly limbs, right? It's going to be really, really cool.
It's just a shame that I'm going to have to play rogue to get this set. Like, it's really makes me sad, but it's going to be worth for this, like this incredible looking set. Like, your face is gone. You're like dematerialized.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it does like the shadowy face thing better than most other kind of sets I've seen.
It has.
And
there's some really like beautiful effects that go on, I think, in some kind of like newer iterations of it, like in the face where it starts to look a little bit starry as well. It is just ethereal. Like you've got your bandaged torso and arms with kind of like glowy underneath. You've got the ethereal armor set on top. I love how far down the pauldrons go.
Yeah.
Like they go all the way down to like your forearms. They just look really cool. And then just a nice pair of just like straight up trousers.
Well, I really like how the claws coming out of the gaps in the pauldrons, they're not like physical. They're kind of materializing sort of thing. They're not like spikes. They're like energy sort of thing. And I think that's really, really cool. You can see that on the animation really. Unfortunately, obviously, like I think this is one of those ones where this color scheme is the optimum and everything else is fine. It's okay. But it's suddenly not an ethereal.
Yeah, it's not an ethereal.
Right. That's cool. It is
cool.
But it's not an ethereal anymore.
No.
And the fact that it looks exactly like an ethereal is quite a large part of this charm.
Yeah.
Like I think the red one is a massive missed opportunity because there are red ethereals, but they're just a slightly different red than this. Like the red isn't bright enough. You could have been a red ethereal if we just had like a more sparkly kind of red.
Yeah.
You know, like the really bright orangey reds that the ethereals have. And these guys do not have it.
I honestly think this is really cool, and you're going to have lots of fun playing with like the chest piece and the shoulders. And I mean, that's the ideal one.
If anything, I think this armor set loses points for coming in different colors.
I agree.
If it didn't come in any different colors, this would be like a 20 out of 10.
They should have just made all of them slight variations of purple.
They shouldn't have even done them recolors. They should have I'm sure it'd been less work to keep all the same color, but just change like the gloves.
Yeah, or just change the color of your armor, right?
Yeah,
so keep your kind of purple glowy ethereal guy, but like
just
the armor trim, just gold, silver.
Just slightly change the color of the bandages.
Yeah, exactly.
Just tiny bit.
I'm gonna have to give it an 8 out of 10, which is still pretty high. Which is pretty high.
Really high.
Solely by this color.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that high. I'm going to give it a 7. Evoker. Don't want to color your opinion of it, but people absolutely love this set.
He is literally on fire. I love it.
I mean, it's Deathwing.
Completely on fire.
It's like the entire set is Deathwing, not just in different colors. No. It's like get all of the most disco colors you can possibly think of and put them on there. Ain't no one going to see them because it's an Evoker, of course.
I know, this is such a tragedy because no one's going to see them. Although there are plans for Evokers to be able to be in their visage forms.
Yeah, but even then, you're still going to turn into dragons quite a lot for various abilities and stuff. But I mean, that is a massive improvement.
It's really, really beautiful. And I love the whole kind of like, you know, lit from within, like glowing kind of, your chest is full of fire or whatever magical element you want to be. And the plates are kind of like, you know, melted on top of it, like tattered dragon scales all around your legs. Why aren't there toe claws?
I'm absolutely fine with that, honestly, because because this suit is the definition of business down below, party up the top, right? You know, if you see it you just see the legs, you're like, that guy, he's got an Azerothian business meeting. They're discussing very serious things,
extremely
right?
serious.
You know, then you scroll up and you're like, the Shadow Flame disco has arrived, everyone.
Shadow Flame one looks amazing.
The shoulders absolutely work. The chains on the shoulder are so extra. No need for those chains. I absolutely love them. But again, like suggesting Deathwing, right?
Course,
when he's chained down and stuff like that.
They're broken chains.
Yeah. A really great example of like what I call WoW coat pants. Yeah. You know, where they have the bottom half of a coat basically as part of the pants. I think these are amazing. They're so like, I mean, they look like Ghost Rider.
They do.
Ghost Rider, right? Okay, another character who is, you know, business down bottom, party up the top.
And let's take a second to admire the animations, which are so extra.
So extra.
Like the flames on the shoulders like literally go up to head height. The horns on your head are like wavering from the heat.
Yeah.
Like the heat is making them like
there is a heat effect. It's a hot costume, right? It's not very revealing. You are like nailed into that shit. Like Deathwing!
Much like Deathwing. And it's coming up out of like around your chest as well. Yeah. Like you were literally bursting with flame.
If that had been me, I'd have finished the bit on the chest, I'd have sat down and been like, that's amazing, going for a wank. This guy did not masturbate, Evitel. This guy spent the time putting fire on the gloves as well. And I very much appreciate that.
Or girl.
Yeah, well, thanks for not masturbating, whoever you were. Thanks for putting all of your orgasm on the costume.
Well, I mean, this gets a 9 out of 10 for me, solid.
Solid 9 out of 10. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, incredible. Hey everyone! I think we can all agree, these are exciting times to be a WoW player. Patches galore, new expansions on the horizon. I've rarely been happier as a player, and I've never been happier to be working with Squarespace, who are sponsoring today's video. Thanks, Squarespace. It's funny because I'm so excited, but I'm also experiencing some feelings I don't really understand. So, for example, I'm suddenly, out of nowhere, like really weirdly drawn to the color purple. Like, all out of nowhere. But that's cool because Squarespace's handy styles template means I can make things more purple than they already are. Like, all purple. Text, background, you name it. But look, there's no need to go all out here. Sometimes all you really need is a little change. The Squarespace page editor couldn't be easier to use. All you need to do is click, edit, and you can change up any image or element or caption as you please. I particularly love that you can edit images directly in the page editor, saving you having to fire up another app. They even have built-in filters. But that's not quite... It's just not purple enough. Anyway, it's super simple. There's even a handy QR code for you to upload directly from mobile. And as if they couldn't make things any easier for you, if you don't want to bother with uploading something completely new, you can just browse your existing asset library. Everything you've ever uploaded. Everything. Anyway, I think now is probably a good time to mention squarespace.com/Taliesin and Evitel and code Taliesin and Evitel, either of which you can use to get 10% off your first purchase of a Squarespace website or domain. Because let's be real here, Blade Mummy is calling, wife knife awaits, and I will do her bidding, and so will you. More purple. That's squarespace.com/Taliesin and Evitel.
There's no way you haven't seen this one online already because it has been celebrated already by Warlocks who always get a good set. They're one of those classes
they never suffer, do they?
They always get a good class and they always get a good spec. And it's like, yeah, well, okay, they have to queue a bit for LFR because they're only DPS, but my heart bleeds. Look at how cool they look.
This is insanely cool. It's so beautiful.
And this would be a decent set without the animation. The animation that's playing now without the arms, even that would be an amazing animation.
Now, I know some people saw that and were like, this looks goofy. I saw that without the arms and went, this looks incredible.
Yeah, I think the animation even without the arms is fantastic. But then the arms are so extra. They're so over the top. They're so wonderful. But I mean, it's an automatic win, really.
Exactly. And the actual animation of the arms themselves is really nicely done, and the way they rise up and the way they kind of fade away. It's it is so beautifully done. Of course, you've got your eye looking around the whole time as well. Little bits of magic lifting up from your shoulders as well. Yeah.
I'd like to see the hands doing something other than just be like... They're kind of like puppet hands at the moment, waiting to have something done with them,
What if they would cast...
Yeah, that would be cool. Do you really think that's going to happen?
No. What if they did?
If they did, then basically the game would have to end because there'd be no tanks and no healers because everyone would be playing Warlock.
What if when you cast, they at the very least start going like this, right?
I mean, that would be pretty... I can't argue with that. That's amazing.
I know that's never going to happen.
No, never.
Arms aside, the rest of the set is like a really, really pretty...
Sorry, something about this set that I wonder if you've noticed.
Yeah.
Hooves. The shoes are hooves.
Cloven feet.
Yeah. They give you cloven feet.
Yeah, and a bit.
They're really, really cool.
Of course, you got.
Don't you love that? Don't you think that's amazing? And you've got a trouser variant as well with pantaloons
and skirts.
Dude, if you get pantaloons, you're a winner. It's a fact.
Yeah. And they're beautiful pantaloons.
Yeah,
and again, like the detail is so pretty. It's like kind of Suramar level, just kind of beautiful, like lovely, lovely detailing. So even when it's mostly one color, like purple, it still looks so good.
And the other color variants is good.
I still dig them. I still think they're really neat. I mean, look at that. That's so good. That's so enough. Warlock. Yeah. I love seeing Warlocks who embrace like acid green and purple. Like that looks incredible. Like I just think it looks so, and look at that. I mean, we haven't even talked about the veil in front of the face. And
the veil is great.
Absolutely stunning.
It is transparent, the veil as well, isn't it? You're seeing your actual face behind
your character's face through the veil.
That is nuts.
And let's give a huge shout out to the team who were like, yeah, the dudes are also going to wear little fringy grungy crop tops.
Yeah, well, of course. I'd be so angry if they hadn't.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a worry about this.
Okay.
It is a crop in the hair. That does look like the hat crop. You know, so what they've done is they've made the back transparent, which they didn't need to do.
They didn't have to do it. They just cropped your hair off.
They cropped your hair off.
Okay, well,
and it's like, just cover the back. Just make the bit at the back non-transparent, and that's the problem solved,
that's
right?
what you're going to be looking at all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
Honestly, I don't care.
I'd be fine with it if you couldn't see the hair cropping, right? So just make it less sheer at the back, the veil, because the veil comes in two bits anyway, right?
Yeah, right.
There's a front bit and a back one, so just make the back one less sheer. Then it's an 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
But I've got to deduct it points for that.
Honestly.
I can't not deduct it points for having a hair cropper.
It's a small price to pay for me.
It's
I think
2024, Evitel. We can't be encouraging hair cropping helmets, although it does look amazing on females.
It looks so good. And look
if
right
anything,
on the ends.
have the arms gotten a bit piddlier and smaller on the female model there?
They
though?
always do.
Yeah.
Arms are always
I mean
piddlier.
the graphic arms.
Oh yeah, well because they would scale with the shoulders.
Well,
wouldn't
they shouldn't.
They shouldn't. They should be absolutely massive. If anything, it looks better on like the bulky male human.
Yeah, because the arms come out more.
The arms come out more. The fringe is a little more like pronounced on it.
I know everyone's expecting this one to win, right? I'm not going to give it top marks because of the hair cropper at the back. I'm going to give it only a 9.5 because of the hair cropper. What about you?
10 out of 10. Yeah. Look at that one.
You would never guess, but this one is Mage. A Dalaran, Khadgar, Kirin Tor special, so it's automatically an 11 out of 10.
I love this. I mean, I love Mage sets because I love arcane stuff.
This is gonna be your go-to Kirin Tor set from now on, right? I mean, it's stunning. Cool. It's lovely. I love like the Cyclops eye in the middle, like the all-seeing kind of Cyclops eye. I think that's really cool. The hood looks amazing. Hoods don't always look amazing. The back piece around the shoulders is incredible.
That is really
Look at that embroidery. That is, I've been following a lot of menswear guy on Twitter, right? And that is some good embroidery right there. That is just quality craftsmanship. I appreciate that level of craftsmanship.
I've always been a fan of kind of like the battle mage look. I think that's really good, and this embraces it. And I love the options of having like trousers instead of just skirts.
I mean, that is a nice pair of pantaloons.
That is a really
if you don't
nice
mind me
pair
saying,
of magical pantaloons.
like my own.
Yeah, and you have like the little Cyclops eyes on your hands as well. I mean, this is also quite cool.
I mean, the stuff.
Evil.
Well, quite, yeah. And the thing is, like, this is obviously the best color because it's in Kirin Tor colors. But yeah, then it's kind of finding your personality through your color of it, and I think that's lovely. Obviously, a Frost Mage one, the Arcane one is a classic.
Just more purple and blue.
It's just like really beautifully detailed, and I love it. What do you think of the special effect on the shoulders? It's kind of like a bit whirlwindy, a bit whirlpooly, a bit shamany, I think.
Yeah, well, a little bit. And you've got a little spinning thing. You've got bubbles coming out of it. You've got kind of like the shards,
like a magical cauldron, perhaps.
A little bit, yeah. I think it's quite nice, just like emanating magical energy. I really like this, and I feel like some people might see this and be like, "It's too simple," or like the silhouette's too simple. I
don't think so. I think people are going to love this.
But I think this is really cool because it'll look really great for everyone playing, and I think like our peers will probably be into it as well because it just is so Mage.
I wonder if there's still time for feedback on this set, right? Okay. So one of the things I really love about this set is like the round eye on the outside of the fist. I think that's really, really cool. I would love a round eye on the inside of the fist as well. Ooh. So when you're casting, you open your fist and like it's an eye, a glowy eye the same color, and like that's where your magic's coming. It would be really kind of Iron Man, I guess, but it would just be really cool.
Could be.
It's gonna be our last ever Dalaran set. So let's make the most of it. That's what I say.
Yeah,
let's like pull out all of the stops.
Very Kirin Tor.
It could never be anything apart from a mage. It's looks great in all of its different color variants. This is an easy 10 out of 10 for me.
Same. I really love it.
This is Priest, and I know what you're thinking.
What am I thinking?
You're thinking, that's not fair, is it?
It's not
That's just
fair.
not fair. What? Well, that's just not fair.
Just not fair. Look at that. that?
I mean, it's awesome. Now, before we suck each other off too much, right? What I will point out is this is by far the best color scheme of this, and the other color schemes of it. Whereas also being cool.
Are you kidding me? Look at this one.
That was a bad one to click onto because that one is brilliant. Okay, so those two are really good.
Okay,
those two are really good. But what I will say.
Come on, look at that.
Okay, yeah, I've clearly misremembered this. These are all absolute like grade A bangers, aren't they?
So incredible.
Okay, I don't like that one. I don't like that one. No, that one sucks. This is a 1 out of 10 because of that color scheme for me.
That one looks beautiful.
I hate it. No, yeah. That's boring.
Yeah, maybe
hopefully that was a
too
PvP one, and
yeah.
same with that one as well. But actually, yeah, these first 3 are actually all really, really good, and they're all going to have that like really cool kind of Naru kind of effect on them. It looks best obviously in the void color because you've got like the negative thing going on there, which is incredible. But
so good.
It's so easy to get caught up in the kind of Asian style mask.
It is an Asian
like
mask,
the void elf-y kind of like bits at the back,
just beautiful.
Which are amazing, and the effect on them is because like you know we've seen some of these sets and the kind of glowy effect is like I love that set you designed. Now put a glow on it, and it's like I didn't really okay, fine. Whereas this, the glow is a fundamental kind of cornerstone of the entire design.
They're these just like fragments of the void, right? It just has that really, especially this one with that beautiful kind of outline and dark effect going on at once with this kind of like little bursts of voidy light.
So this set does do one of the things that I hate most, which is these tassels at the front are painted on. Yeah, they're not 3D. I hate it when they paint on what are clearly 3D elements onto a 2D set. I just like, we don't live in that world anymore. We don't have to do that anymore. Okay. It's like, if you want a 3D thing, put it in 3D. If you don't, right? So this, but I will say this is one of the best painted on 3D effects I've ever seen. And it's helped by the fact that there are genuine 3D tassels on the side as well.
Exactly.
So that really helps with the illusion.
I also really appreciate how they've given you like the most boring shoes in the world. Like
they are just slippers.
Like, exactly. Like this guy is like, what are you looking at my shoes for? Like, look at this. Don't look at my shoes. They're for utility. Look at the rest of this. I mean, this looks so beautiful. And actually, I like this, how in some of them, the gloves are darker and some of them are lighter. Like the contrast between them. They look absolutely stunning. And then it's just like pop of gold. And of course, you've got the void one and the light one.
The helm is going to look bad on Tauren. I mean, I know every helm looks bad on Tauren. Do you know what this is going to look like on a Tauren?
What's it
It's going to look like that thing from Spirited Away with the mask when it turns into a monster and it's like the huge bulbous monster with just like the little mask on the end like that. That's what it's going to look like for Tauren. Look at all the rings on the hands. Have you seen the rings on the fingers? Like he's just wearing a bunch of rings. It's awesome.
And the kind of the golden kind of weave and inscriptions on like the knuckles. Oh my god.
I mean, there's so much potential for this set. Like every single piece of this set you can use in different ways. And it's like, I mean, I might even use this instead of my Inquisitor set for a little bit when I get it right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
You don't think the Asian mask is a bit goofy?
No, I think it's perfect.
Okay.
Would
it be better without the eyes?
No, I love the eyes.
Okay.
I love the goofy eyes.
Okay, give me a score.
11.
Yeah, me too.
11.
And there we have it, Evitel. The priest set is the winner.
Who knew?
With 22 out of a potential 20. Not bad, eh?
Not
pretty good.
Bad.
You've always wanted to start a Shadow Priest, so now might be your time.
I have. In fact, that's going to be my Pandemonium character.
No
I'm going to run a Shadow Priest.
Shit.
I do have 2 Shadow Priests in the wings, but I'm ready to make another one.
This Shadow Priest has 2 wings.
This set absolutely knocked it out of the water. Followed very closely behind.
Such a beautiful mix of metaphors.
Knocked it out of the water.
This knocks it. Now
I'm befuddled. I'm under the spell.
Now you're cooking with touchdowns. But look, the void has obviously penetrated your brain.
I love it when it penetrates.
And you know what?
My brain.
With the void, all possibilities are true. But what do you think, guys? You probably don't agree with all of our choices. And if that's the case, you probably just need to shut up and keep it to yourself. Or put it in the comments down below and tell us why we're so wrong. Just like the good old days.
Tell us why we're wrong. See, I know why we drank the wine. We used to drink wine, and it was so that we could better, more easily stomach people telling us that we're wrong.
Yeah, well, I drink wine because I become more charming.
Yeah, well,
and I like you to drink wine because I become more attractive to you.
Exactly, and when I drink wine, wine, I become more right in everything.
It's true. And
Which
also, I'm
I
an
didn't
amazing
think was
singer.
possible.
Like, my singing is incredible when I drink wine, and my dancing goes without saying.
Yeah. Well, we had a really good time doing this.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments below, and thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, don't thank us though, thank our patrons who give their actual real life money to make all of our work happen. And patrons, seriously, thank you, because without you there'd be a whole lot less Taliesin and Evitel. Of course, there is a ad and sponsor free version of this video on the channel for you to enjoy. Patrons, go wild. Less Evitel that way, isn't it?
It's true, but you know.
If you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it. And remember, my name is Sean.
And my name is Recruit a Friend.
No, my name is Taliesin.
And I'm Evitel.
From both of us, until next time, cheerio.